Did you know that millionaires see the world completely differently? Most people walk through life looking at what things cost, what might go wrong, and why something won't work. But millionaires walk into that same room and instantly ask a different question. Where is the opportunity here? The difference between an average income and extraordinary wealth is rarely just talent or luck. It's the thinking patterns, the mental models, and the way you interpret risk, time, and value. In today's video, we going deep into how to think like a millionaire using 3 powerful mental models that shape the decisions of self-made wealth builders around the world. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand these models, you'll know exactly how to start applying them in your own life immediately. The first mental model is ownership over consumption. The average person is trained from childhood to be a consumer. Go to school, get a job, earn money, and spend it on things that signal success. A millionaire mindset flips this script. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" they ask, "What can I own that pays me?" This is the core principle behind wealth creation. For example, when most people see a successful coffee shop, they think about buying a $5 latte every morning. A millionaire thinks, what would it take to own a coffee shop, or at least a share in one? When people scroll social media and see influencers promoting products, the consumer thinks, "I should buy that." The millionaire thinks, how can I create a product people want to buy? This mental model is all about shifting from spending money on depreciating liabilities to investing in appreciating assets. Consider real estate. Instead of renting forever and upgrading apartments as your income grows, a wealth-focused thinker asks how to acquire property that generates rental income. Or take digital skills rather than only paying for online courses and entertainment. A millionaire mindset asks how to turn that knowledge into a YouTube channel, a digital product, a software tool, or a consulting service. The principle is simple but powerful. Ownership creates leverage, and leverage creates wealth. Think about someone who builds an online course once and sells it thousands of times. Their effort is multiplied. That's ownership thinking. Compare that to someone who works hourly forever. Their income is limited by time. Ownership thinking asks, how do I detach my income from hours? If you work 8 hours and get paid once, that's linear income. If you build something once and get paid repeatedly, that's leveraged income. Millionaires obsess over leverage, whether it's through technology, media, capital, or teams. The second mental model is long-term compounding. Average thinking is short-term and emotional. It wants quick results, instant gratification, and visible rewards now. Millionaire thinking is patient and strategic. It understands that small, consistent actions compound massively over time. This is true in investing, relationships, skills, reputation, and business. Imagine 2 people earning the same salary. One spends everything and upgrades their lifestyle each year. The other invests 20% consistently in assets that grow at 8 to 12% annually. Over 10 or 20 years, the difference becomes dramatic, not because one earned dramatically more, but because compounding did the heavy lifting for them. The same is true for skills. If you improve your communication, leadership, or technical skills by just 1% every week, in a year you are unrecognizable compared to your old self. Millionaires don't chase hype, they build foundations. They ask, will this decision still make sense in 5 years? For example, instead of jumping between random trends, they might spend years building a brand, a network, or expertise in one single area. When others get bored, they double down. When others panic during market downturns, they see discounts and opportunity. This is why market crashes often create more millionaires. Those who understand compounding and long-term value buy when others are afraid. Think about business growth. Reinvesting profits instead of extracting them all accelerates expansion. Think about health. Consistent workouts over years transform the body more than extreme diets for a month. Compounding rewards discipline and punishes inconsistency. A millionaire mindset measures progress differently. It understands that seeds need time to grow. It doesn't quit just because results aren't instant. It trusts the process. The third mental model is value creation over status. Most people focus on looking successful. Millionaires focus on being valuable. Status thinking asks, how do I impress others? Value thinking asks, how do I solve bigger problems? Wealth flows to problem solvers. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you can earn. A doctor earns more than a cashier because they solve more complex, higher stakes problems. A software company that saves businesses millions of dollars can charge premium prices for its services. Instead of chasing fancy titles or luxury purchases, millionaire thinkers ask, what skills or solutions can I develop that the market desperately needs? For example, if you notice small businesses struggling with digital marketing, instead of criticizing them, you could learn marketing deeply and offer services that increase their revenue. Now you're creating value. If you see students confused about math or programming, you could create tutorials, courses, or coaching. That's value creation. Even in a regular job, thinking like a millionaire means asking your boss, how could I make this company more money or save it more money? The employee who consistently increases revenue or reduces costs becomes indispensable. They earn promotions or use that experience to start their own business. Status symbols depreciate. Value compounds. A luxury car may impress people temporarily, but a skill that generates 6 figures per year builds true freedom. Millionaires understand that money is a byproduct of value, not the goal itself. They focus on impact first. Now let's combine these 3 mental models into a practical scenario. Imagine you're a young professional earning an average salary. Consumer thinking says to upgrade your lifestyle as your income increases. Ownership thinking says to invest in assets, maybe start a side business, build a YouTube channel, learn to code to create apps, or buy dividend-paying stocks. Short-term thinking says to spend weekends relaxing only. Compounding thinking says to use a few hours each week to build a long-term asset. Status thinking says to buy the newest phone to look successful. Value thinking says to invest that money in learning high-income skills like sales, AI tools, programming, or content creation. Over 5 to 10 years, these small differences in thinking create massive differences in outcome. During economic uncertainty, average thinking freezes in fear. Millionaire thinking studies trends, looks for undervalued opportunities, and invests strategically. Instead of asking, what if I fail? They ask, what if this works? And then they manage risk intelligently. That doesn't mean reckless risk-taking. It means calculated bets. Let's go deeper into the psychology. Millionaires reframe failure as feedback. When a business idea fails, they don't label themselves as failures. They extract the lessons and iterate. This growth mindset fuels compounding success. Each attempt builds experience, network, and insight. Over time, these intangible assets become powerful advantages. They also guard their environment carefully. They spend time with ambitious people, consume educational content, and limit negative influences. Why? Because thinking is contagious. If everyone around you complains about money, you subconsciously adopt scarcity thinking. If your circle discusses investments, ideas, and growth, you begin to see opportunities everywhere too. Another key difference is decision speed. Millionaires often make decisions faster, but with preparation. They gather just enough information, analyze the risks, and then act decisively. Average thinkers tend to overanalyze small risks while ignoring the big ones. For instance, they fear investing $500 to learn a new skill, but don't fear spending thousands on lifestyle expenses that produce no return. Millionaire thinking flips that. It views education, skills, and networks as investments, not costs. Let's also talk about time perception. Millionaires treat time as their most valuable asset. They delegate low-value tasks and focus on high-impact activities. If a task can be automated, outsourced, or eliminated, they consider it. This doesn't require being rich already, it just requires prioritization. Even a student can allocate their prime hours to deep learning instead of endless scrolling. Ask yourself daily, is this activity moving me closer to asset ownership, long-term compounding, or value creation? If the answer is no, then you need to reconsider it. Finally, understand that thinking like a millionaire doesn't require $1 million in the bank. It requires discipline, clarity, and courage. You start small, track your expenses, invest consistently, build a skill, create content, start a micro business, read books on finance and psychology, and surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Think in decades, not days. The transformation is gradual but powerful. Remember the 3 models: ownership over consumption, long-term compounding over short-term gratification, and value creation over status. If you internalize these, your decisions will change. Your habits will change. And eventually, your bank account will reflect that change. Wealth isn't built in one breakthrough moment. It's built in thousands of small, intelligent decisions aligned with the right mental models. So starting today, shift your questions. Instead of what can I buy, ask what can I build or own. Instead of how fast can I win, ask how consistently can I grow. Instead of how do I look successful, ask how do I become valuable. Adopt this mindset now, apply it daily, and watch how your opportunities expand. If this perspective changed the way you think, make sure to subscribe to Mindshift Global.